Brian Giles from Brian Giles MTG, and I'm here in an undisclosed location somewhere in the multiverse. And I will be recording videos from here probably for the next few days. So without all the niceties and stuff I have at my home setup. Excuse the shakiness of the camera. I'm having to hold this with my hand instead of my normal arm that I have at home. So we're here with Duskmourn spoilers. Hoo-ha! So get ready for House of Horror. We're starting off with Enduring Innocence. 2 white and 1 for a 2/1 sheep enchantment creature Sheep Glimmer with lifelink. Whenever one or more other creatures you control with power 2 or less enter this ability, draw a card. This ability triggers only once each turn. When Enduring Innocence dies, if it was a creature returned to the battlefield under its owner's control, it's an enchantment. So some card draw, some lifelink if it's a creature. Hoo-ha. Again, I apologize for the shakiness of the camera and the... Next up we have Enduring Curiosity. So it's for 2 blue and 2, you get a 4/3 enchantment creature, Cat Glimmer. Has Flash. Another creature you control deals combat damage to a player, draw a card. When Enduring Curiosity dies, if it was a creature, turn to the battlefield under its owner's control with an enchantment. So it comes back as an enchantment, like most all of the Glimmers do. Now, like I said, I'm having to do this from my tablet instead of my normal computer, so next up we have Valgavoth, Terror Eater. So he's a beefy 3 black and 6 for a 9/9 legendary Elder Demon. He has flying and lifelink. And wards sacrifice 3 non-land permanents. Good luck getting rid of him. The card you didn't control, we put into an opponent's graveyard from anywhere, exile it instead. During your turn, you play cards exiled with Valgavoth. If you cast a spell this way, you pay a life equal to its mana value rather than its mana cost. So it has a bit of a big drawback, but still, every time a creature an opponent controls that you didn't control is put into a graveyard, you get to snag it for your own and play it later. Next up is an insanely powerful card in Kaido, Bane of Nightmares. So it's a blue, a black, and 2 for a 4 loyalty legendary planeswalker Kaido. He has ninjutsu of a blue, black, and 1, and during your turn, as long as Kaido has 1 or more loyalty counters on him, he's a 3/4 ninja creature and has hexproof. And you can +1 loyalty to him and give him an emblem that gives all your ninjas +1/+1. And this is the first time we've seen an emblem card on a plus-sided loyalty counter. So you can continue to stack these emblems up, and they are well almost impossible to get rid of. A 0 loyalty of Seville 2, then draw a card for each opponent who lost life this turn. Well, that works well, especially if you're playing ninjutsu cards. And -2 loyalty, tap target creature, put 2 stun counters on it. Tapping creatures is important in this set, and it can't always be just your opponent's creatures. So we'll talk more about that later. Okay, next up is a new type of card in this set called an enchantment room. Oops, sorry about that. Whoopsie. We have Dollmaker's Shop and Porcelain Gallery. Now this room, its enchantment can be put into play from either side. So you can choose to play either side. But you can get bonuses from other cards by unlocking the room fully by playing both sides. So even if this is on the battlefield, you can still pay for the other side. So Dollmaker's Shop is a white and 1. Is whenever one or more non-toy creatures you control attack a player, create a 1/1 white toy artifact creature token. And Porcelain Gallery is 2 white and 4 creatures you control have base power and toughness equal to the number of creatures you control. That could be absolutely fun later on. Sorry about that. Again, I'm doing all this from my tablet, and I'm not used to doing this like this. So please forgive all the mistakes and little idiosyncrasies. Next up, we have Duskmourn, All Questioning. So, for a green, a blue, and 1, you get a 1/1 legendary human wizard. At the beginning of your end step, if a land enters the battlefield or you control this turn, and you control a prime number of lands, create Primo the Indivisible, a legendary 0/0 green and blue fractal creature token with that many +1/+1 counters on it. The prime numbers are 2, 3, 5, 7, 11, 13, 17, 19, 23, 29, and 31. You could go higher, but I don't think it'll be going any higher, especially, in a standard game, and probably not that much higher in a commander game. So that's what that prime number thing was in the Mark Rosewater spoilers. Next up, we have Winter Misanthropic Guide. Now, Winter is a survivor of this plane and kind of like a guide to get around. But we don't know if we can always trust Winter. So for a black, a red, and green, and 1, you get a 3/4 legendary human warlock with Ward 2. Beginning of your upkeep, each player draws 2 cards. Well, that's definitely fun with Sheoldred. It has Delirium. As long as there are 4 or more cards among card types in your graveyard, each opponent's maximum hand size is equal to 7 minus the number of those card types. And yes, the card types on the room things, each side does count as a card type. Oh, come on. Do the thing. Okay. Let's scroll back down to where we were. Here we are. Scrabbling Skull Crab. Single blue mana for a 0/3 crab skeleton. It has Eerie. Whenever an enchantment you control enters, and whenever you fully unlock a room, which means you play both sides of a room enchantment, target player mills 2 cards. More interestingness for mill decks. Hoo-ha. And it's a crab and a skeleton, which can play into crabs and skeleton formats. Come on. Okay, next up we have Fear of Immobility. A white and 4 for a 4/4 enchantment creature Nightmare. Fear Immobility enters, tap up to 1 target creature. If the opponent controls that creature, put a stun counter on it. Because tapping your own creatures is going to have an important role in a upcoming mechanic that we're going to talk about later. So, hoo-ha. Next up, we have another fear card in Fear of Lost Teeth. So, single black mana for a 1/1 enchantment creature Nightmare. When Fear of Lost Teeth dies, it deals 1 damage to any target, and you gain a life. I don't know why it keeps going to the back down to the bottom of the page. Okay, next up we have Overlord of the Mistmoors, which is a cycle of 5 different overlords. We've looked at the green one already in the first premiere video. So Overlord of the Mistmoors is 2 white and 5 for a 6/6 enchantment creature avatar horror. It has impending 4, which means it's like kind of like a time you get 4 time counters on it if you pay 2 white and 2. Whenever Overlord Mistmoors enters or attacks, create 2/1 white insect creature tokens with flying. So some more insect love. Hoo-ha. Next we have Unwanted Remake. The first of our Manifest Dread cards. A single white mana for an instant that reads destroy target creature. Its controller Manifest Dread. This means that player looks at the top 2 cards of their library, puts one onto the battlefield face down as a 2/2 creature and the other into their graveyard. If it's a creature card, it can be turned up at any time for its mana cost. So, hoo-ha. Cheap white removal, but you give the person a card to put down as a 2/2 creature. Then we have the next of our another Manifest Dread card in Disturbing Mirth. So Disturbing Mirth is a black and a red for an enchantment that reads, when it enters you may sacrifice another enchantment or creature. If you do, draw 2 cards. When you sacrifice Disturbing Mirth, Manifest Dread. So you can sacrifice another Disturbing Mirth to get a 2/2 creature for yourself. So, hoo-ha. Oop. And next up, we have an insanely powerful card. I mean, this is a crazy, crazy card. In Hauntwood Shrieker. 2 green and 1 for a 3/3 beast mutant. When Hauntwood Shrieker attacks, you can Manifest Dread. Then you can pay a green and 1 at any time to reveal any target face down permanent from anywhere. If it's a creature card, you may turn it face up. So you can look at face down cards. If it's a creature, you can turn it face up. And if it's an opponent's creature, you can keep it face down if you want to, and look to see what they got underneath. So this thing is insanely powerful, insanely useful, can cheat cards out quickly. especially if you're using it with stuff like Surveil or Scry or something like that. So you manipulate your deck and hoo-ha. Yeah. This card's going to be fun. We're going to see how long it lasts and how well it plays. Well, we're at 20 minutes now. Excuse me. So we're going to say hoo-ha. We'll see you on the next video.